Hey, you're jacked in to what is it? Buffy's Angels on the franchise Patreon, whatever. And I'm the guy who's seen all the Buffys a million times, and all the Angels, all the Fireflies, everything. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg, and over there is watching for the first time Logan B. Adair.
Yeah. Hey guys, we've had some good episodes this season, right? We've had Faith, Hope, and Trick. We've had Anne. We've had Band Candy, right? But
Yep.
now we're getting back to the heights of what Buffy has to offer, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, I agree. We're back in biz. I believe that 7 through the end of the season, there's only one episode that I think is below par.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Let's talk about them. This week we're covering Revelations as well as Lover's Walk.
I had a revelation this week. Buffy, good show.
Great job. All right. So, Revelations, let's get right into it. It aired the week of November 17th. Well, it aired the day, November 17th, 1998. Doo-Wop, That Thing by Lauryn Hill was still number one on the charts, and the UK was still bopping along to Believe by Cher. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's something interesting about this day. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Over the weekend, Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra drunkenly got married in Las Vegas. All right? Are you
Wow.
aware of that?
I think that was featured in The Last Dance, maybe.
Yes, it was. It was. They talked about it there.
Yeah.
Now, that marriage was annulled 9 days later.
Wow.
Okay? So this episode of Buffy aired on one of the 9 days that Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra were married.
That's an incredible fact. I love that.
I love it too. All right.
And it's the only one, too. It's done by the next time.
It's done by the next episode. Yeah. All right. All right. Number one at the box office, still The Water Boy hanging on. What a hit that was.
Yep.
And number two, Logan, a movie you recently watched.
Yep.
Ben's son, of course, in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Great film. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, we talked about it on Hey, I'm Watching Here.
Is she dating Freddie Prinze at the time? They met on the first one. Are they like a couple now?
That's a really good question. I would actually love to know that. Do you mind if I look that up real quick?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure like the timeline of. I mean, they've been together forever, but I'm not sure like when they started dating.
Yeah, what a successful Hollywood romance they are, aren't they?
Yeah, I love them.
They did not begin dating until the year 2000.
Okay,
And
so she's slutting it up.
Yeah, they got engaged in April 2001 and married in 2002.
All right.
All right. All right. And they're still married to this day.
Yeah, my heart will shatter if they ever separate.
Yeah, that would be a bummer. It would be like when Thurston Moore and Kim Gordon broke up.
Those are two names I've never heard.
They were in Sonic Youth, and when they got divorced, it was very upsetting to me. Okay. Number 3 at the box office, debuting at number 3. I think they had high hopes for this one, but it didn't really pan out. Meet Joe Black.
Yeah, it's Pitt.
That's right. Pitt, he's Satan. He comes to Earth. He falls in love. There's a scene of him eating peanut butter for the first time, getting blown away by that. And it's got one of the funniest endings you've ever seen in your life.
Does he get hit by a car?
Yeah, it involves that.
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Sorry to spoil it.
3-hour movie. 3-hour movie, but it's worth it to get to that. Music releases. I'll tell you the two biggies for me.
Biggie.
No, he's dead by this point. Americana by The Offspring. That was a big album. Had Pretty Fly for a White Guy on it, Logan. It also had The Kids Aren't All Right, which is the song they play at the beginning of The Faculty.
All
right. Great album. I listened to the fuck out of that album. And also Spirit by Jewel. This was her second album, the follow-up to her big debut, and the big hit on that album, Logan. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours. They are my own. You ever hear that?
Yeah, I've definitely heard that. I feel like you bring up Jewel all the time.
Well, Jewel was big in the late 90s.
Is it only on this podcast you bring her
Yeah,
up?
yeah. People want to forget how big Jewel was, but I like to remember them. I mean,
Okay.
remind them. Am I dumb?
Yes.
All
No,
right.
you're not dumb.
You want to know what's going on in wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. Survivor Series happened over the weekend, and it was called Deadly Game. And Deadly Game Survivor Series had a fun theme song that was written for it, where they say Deadly Game a bunch. I'd like you to play that over my talking about Survivor Series,
No
please.
problem.
Yeah. Now, this Survivor Series, of course, was where Vince McMahon held a tournament, a title tournament. Who's going to win the championship? It's been vacated, as you might recall me talking about.
Mhm.
And of course, at the end, The Rock defeats Mankind as he turns heel, Logan.
Yeah.
He turns heel. He starts working with Vince McMahon, and they form an alliance called the Corporation.
McMahon turned on Mankind. Weren't they working together last week?
McMahon turned on Mankind. It was very sad. Mankind was crushed. And The Rock, now he's part of this alliance called the Corporation. And it's Shane McMahon and Shawn Michaels also turn heel and join this faction. Okay? And The Rock crushes everybody's dreams. He starts calling the people's eyebrow the corporate eyebrow, and the people's elbow the corporate elbow. Logan,
Damn.
it was very sad. As a kid, I was furious.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. That's all that went on this week. Let's talk about the episode proper. Our director this week is James A. Contner. This is his third episode as Buffy director. He previously did Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, and Faith, Hope, and Trick.
He likes those 3
Yeah.
titles.
So this is the first episode he's directed that does not have 3 words separated by commas.
Those are some good episodes though.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's one of the best.
Yeah.
And Douglas Petrie, that's the big news. He's our writer for this week, and he's going to be with us all the way to the end. He's a very important Buffy writer, wrote a lot of episodes from seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He had previously been a Nickelodeon writer, Logan. He was the head writer on Clarissa Explains It All for a couple of years, and also wrote the Harriet the Spy movie.
All right. Unseen by me.
Yeah, starring Michelle Trachtenberg, who will later be on Buffy.
Who's Michelle Trachtenberg? Is she a redhead girl?
Nope. Don't
Michelle
know who you're thinking of. Well, I don't know. She was on Gossip Girl. She's famous for Harriet the Spy, Buffy, and Gossip Girl.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
just kind of red hair.
Not back then. It was brunette.
All right. Well, that is what I'm thinking about.
Okay. All right. Then he goes on after Buffy to work for Marvel, Logan. He was a writer on the Daredevil TV show, and then he was the head writer on that Defenders TV show. Remember that, when Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist, they all teamed up?
Sure.
All right.
You know what I think about when I hear the name Petrie?
Tell me.
I think about that tiny little bird dinosaur from The Land Before Time. Is he a little pterodactyl?
Was his name Petrie?
He is Petrie.
Okay.
You don't know Petrie?
I've only seen the first Land Before Time, and it was when I was a kid.
Me too. You think I watch those all the time?
I think
there's
you
like
do.
20 of them.
I think you've probably seen all 12, yeah, or whatever there are. Logan.
Yeah.
Why not scrote those notes?
All right. Well, we see the Dingoes play. No mom this episode. I want to say that.
Yeah.
But do you like the Dingoes? They finish up a song.
The
Do you like that
song they were playing was bad, I gotta say. But
I didn't think that bad.
I don't know. But they're just the only band that ever plays at the Bronze these days. You know, they were showing in the next episode, if I may just come forward for a second. Remember the montage at the end of them all being sad?
Yes.
Oz is just hanging out in a closed down Bronze with a guitar. I'm like, what, does he have a fucking key now?
Okay, I didn't even notice that was the Bronze, but I did notice during, not to jump way ahead to that part of the next episode, but during that part, there's like a sad acoustic guitar, and then we see Oz playing the guitar, and I thought it was him playing the
He's not actually playing it, he's just holding it.
Yeah, I know, I had to, but initially when I saw him with that, but then I looked at what he was doing, and I was like, oh, that's not what's happening. But anyway, so back to the Dingoes, you hated the song, whatever. What's going on? So Buffy, she's late, right?
Yeah. And not on her period, just to get to the Bronze.
Right. She's hanging out with Faith, though, and then they go... We meet Faith's watcher, her new watcher.
Yeah, well, first there's more Willow Xander weirdness at the Bronze. They're still feeling weird about their hookups and shit. But yeah, then we meet Gwendolyn Post, Mrs.
She says that?
Yeah.
All right, I like that. But she was pretty cool. I guess it's a one-off. Does she die? She doesn't die, does she?
She does die.
She does die.
This is her only appearance. She's played by Serena Scott Thomas, the younger sister of famed actress Kristen Scott Thomas.
Okay, I've heard that name for sure,
yeah.
But I don't really know who that is. But I thought that she was fine. I mean, no problem with Gwendolyn Post.
I like her. I wish she stuck around another episode or two.
Yeah, I honestly forgot she died. I thought she might have stayed around. But when they talk about this thing, Lagos, is that right?
Lagos is a demon.
Yeah, Lagos the demon, and the glove.
Yeah, he's looking for the glove of Minagon.
Yeah, so those are the villains this week. That, and then the Gwendolyn Post.
Well, that's almost like a red herring. Like they set up Lagos as the villain, but then it turns out that the new Watcher's the real villain.
All right, but the glove is bad, right? The lightning glove.
Yeah, of course.
Minigan. But anyway, so we go to Buffy, Angel, and they're like hanging out, almost kissing, and they're like, no, we can't kiss. That's bad. But I have a question, like, if Angel's good at this point, what's the hang up?
Look, the last time they fucked, he turned evil. So the idea is, like, if they fall back into old habits and into like a nice, happy relationship, that could happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention, like, he tortured her watcher and like killed a couple of her friends. Like, yeah, it's not a great situation.
Yeah, it's not. But I mean, right here, I wasn't like, just get back together. But like later on, I did have the thought, like in the next episode, when like she's like, I got to go do other stuff. I was like, but you guys love each other. Why are you? I don't know. But anyway, so what was this whole thing where oh, okay, never mind. So Willow and Xander, they kiss. They go in the bookshelves and they kiss. By the way, this is the same spot where Xander kissed Cordelia, right?
Yeah, Willow caught them. I know, it's true.
Like the same spot.
Yeah. So Buffy and Angel almost kissed during Sexy Tai Chi, but then Willow and Xander do kiss in the library stacks. Does Giles catch them here?
I mean, it seemed crazy that he couldn't, right?
I mean, but you see him looking at a book all distracted, but from his demeanor with them at the end of the scene, it does feel like he's being judgy about something.
Yeah, I sort of thought that he just played it like he didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But how would you not, right? Seems crazy how he wouldn't.
Yeah. If I was hanging out with like teens all the time, I'd definitely be keeping track of their kissings.
Yeah, well, you're a weirdo. Giles is probably not a weirdo. Who knows? But so I'll say yes, I do think that Giles saw, if that's your question.
Okay.
Here's a thing that was this part to set up that Buffy is just way stronger than Faith is. We see a scene where Buffy and Faith are walking, but then they separate. They're like, I'll go this way, you go that way, whatever. I don't really know why they did that, but they separate, and then Faith fights this monster guy, and he sort of like beats her up a little bit, right? He like tosses her around, kind of roughs
Yeah.
her up, and then later Buffy runs into this guy, and Buffy just sort of takes him on handily. She just sort of kills him. Was that to set up that Buffy's just stronger than Faith is?
No, and you see that she's not because they fight later in the episode to kind of a draw. But I do think it's a way of setting up maybe that Buffy's just far more experienced with this sort of thing than Faith is.
Okay, well, I feel like that's kind of what I meant. But
Okay.
what was the point of that then? If not that,
What do you mean? The point of them
that monster
splitting
guy
up?
shows up and he fights Faith, and then he sort of disappears, and then he shows up and fights Buffy, and Buffy kills him, and then it's like the end of that guy. What was the point if not to show that, or that was the point? I don't know. Felt a lot of weird in this episode. Anyway, so Buffy so Xander feels bad because of the kissing that just went on with Willow, right? So he's like, I'll go look for the bad guy Lagos and whatever also, right? So he goes out. This was crazy stuff from Xander. He sees Angel, right? And he pulls out his stake to go follow Angel. He's going to go murder Angel. Pretty interesting stuff. But then he sees Angel and Buffy smooching, and he's like, oh no, that's bad. So here, funny line here. You ready for a funny line?
Yeah.
Buffy, they see the Angel has the glove, and Buffy's like, he tells her like, the glove is bad. If you put it on, we can't take it off. And Buffy says, no touching, just like us.
That's a funny line.
That's very funny. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was meant to be serious.
It might be, but I thought it was corny, so it was funny. But so intervention time. Ready?
Yeah, this is the best sequence of the episode. It's so good.
I have a question for you. Did you ever have an intervention? Did your family ever have an intervention for you?
No, they would just like show up in the hospital when I ended up there, and they were like, "See,
Yeah,
you need to stop."
You ever watch that show? Wasn't there a show intervention?
Yeah, I watched a few episodes of it because I had an ex that was really into it, and it's a fun show. I'd like to go back and watch more of it at some point.
All right. Who says that? I like to go back and catch up on intervention.
Yeah, I would kind of.
Let's do an intervention podcast.
I'd be into it, dude.
All right, so they're like, Angel is bad. What are you doing getting involved with Angel? That's bad news. And she's like, no, he's different. And Xander says something that he said before, but I want to bring up again. He brings up that thing where he says you if you give him a happy.
Yeah, I immediately thought of you because you were very concerned with that phrasing the last time it came up.
Yeah, I don't remember when it came up, but I never thought I'd hear it again. But here it is, a happy. They brought it back.
Yeah.
And so, but Giles sort of defends her, kind of. He's like, take it easy on her or whatever. And so she goes to him after, and she's like, hey, thanks, Giles. That was really nice what you did back there. But he's like, no, shut up. Get out of my office. You have brought danger upon everybody. I don't want them to bully you, but also what you've done is very bad, right?
The classic lines here are like, I can't believe I have to remind you that Angel tortured me for hours for pleasure. And then he finishes his whole monologue with, you have no respect for me or the job I perform.
Oh yeah, that
just
was
so
good.
cold. I love it.
Yeah, that was good actually. So Gwendolyn shows up at Faith's motel. By the way, what's the deal with Faith's motel? Like, didn't the owner die?
Yeah, that's why she's able to stay there.
So she's just staying there, like,
yeah,
unguarded. Nobody knows about the motel.
No, I think she's whoever the new people that are running the motel is. They just don't know that she's like connected to the previous owner's death.
Oh, so they got into new owners.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assume because that motel, like, we see a lot in the future, so I assume someone's running it.
We've seen it in like every episode since she's been around, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like. But so Gwendolyn goes there and she's like, "Hey, Faith, they had an intervention for Buffy and they didn't invite you, right? And so Faith's like, that's not cool. But I want to be a part of stuff. So Faith goes to or I guess that's later. They go to the bronze. Or no, that's right now. This was weird. I thought the whole thing was weirdly acted, especially from Xander. I thought Xander was kind of bad here. They're playing pool, and they're like,
Oh, he's just
hey.
so serious.
Yeah, right.
I
just
like, want to shoot.
Yeah, but they're like, she's like, I'm mad I wasn't at the intervention. She's like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, let's take him down. And so they go and they're gonna go kill Angel. But the whole thing is just, I thought pretty weird.
Well, the purpose of the scene is Faith knows that they had a meetup without her, but she doesn't know what it was about. And so this is Xander telling Faith that Angel's alive. And Faith is a little crushed because she actually had inquired about Angel earlier in the episode. Like the beginning of this episode is like the Faith Buffy relationship at a high point. You know, like they're really getting along and crushing it, slaying together. And like, so she's asking her about like dudes she's dated. Like she says, you boinked the undead. And, and Buffy doesn't want to talk about it and says like, he's dead. It's hurtful to think about. I want to leave it in the past. So Faith is annoyed. Like she's now been left out of this conversation, this private conversation between literally everyone else in her friend group. And also was lied to by her current best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't get the motivation or whatever. I just thought Xander, especially Xander, not even Faith was weird. I just thought Xander's acting was a little weird in this scene.
It's always a little weird when you see Xander get like stone-faced serious about something.
Not necessarily. There was that moment where he stood up to Angel and it was like, ooh, this is cool, Xander. But this just felt weird.
Yeah,
I don't feel like he nailed it. But in that moment with Angel, when he like, remember that when he stood up to him in that one moment, I thought that was like that. I bought that.
Here, that's true. Yeah, that's fair, man. Yeah, and killed by death.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And so Gwendolyn shows up at the library. I wrote Gwen heel turn. This is when she bangs.
I wrote the exact same thing.
I feel like that's how I always take notes. Anytime someone is like bad, I just write heel turn, face turn. It's so easy. But she comes in. By the way, this happens to Giles. Has to have like serious like CTE issues, right? He's been hit. He's been knocked out by Buffy, Lyle Gorch, and now Gwendolyn.
I feel like there's even one or two we're not thinking of. Like, he gets knocked out by like Drusilla and them before they take him. Yeah, I knew you'd bring this up at some point. It's like a joke in the Buffy communities. Giles head trauma. Like he's just constantly getting knocked out.
Yeah, and it just happened recently. Like Lyle Gorge, like remember it cuts to
in
like
Homecoming. It was
they're in the library already, and he's knocked out. Like we don't see him get knocked out, but he's already. He
gets knocked out so much that they don't even need to show it anymore.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was a thing, but that's very funny. That makes sense. Can't wait for more of it. So Buffy and Willow are walking, and Buffy's like, "I'm so glad everyone knows about Angel now. That's such a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I feel so free." And Willow's like, "Yeah, but like, wasn't it a little bit sexier when people didn't know? Like when it was a secret, wasn't it a little more fun?" And I don't know how Buffy, like that seemed like a crazy thing to say, right?
Well, Willow kind of, you get the sense in this episode she wants to tell Buffy what's going on with her. Like she tries to at one point when Lagos shows up. Remember, she gets like cut off and then chickens out afterwards.
Oh, that's Lagos, the guy that fought Faith earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Lagos. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but I thought it was crazy that like Buffy didn't even put that together. I feel like I would put like overnight thinking back on like my day, I'd be like, that part was weird. The part where Willow was like, wasn't being secretive sexy. Yeah. That was weird.
She's distracted by her own bullshit right now, man.
I guess so. But yeah, so Buffy fights that guy and she kills him or whatever. So they go find Giles, right?
Yeah.
And Faith sees him and she assumes that Angel did it. She's like, well, it's because Angel's bad. Obviously, Angel knocked out Giles. So she leaves. I thought this was kind of funny. When Giles is being taken off on the
I think that's
stretcher,
funny too.
and he says, "Destroy the glove. Use living flame."
Yeah. Use living flame.
Very
Yeah.
funny. It's they go off. They go to Angel's place, where he's got the glove and the living flame,
I like the
and
living flame. It's colorful.
it is colorful. I liked it too. And by the way, this is Gwendolyn's signature move. She also bangs Angel over the head. She does the exact same thing to Angel.
Dude, and then she tries to do it with Willow later.
Yes, she does. This is her go-to. I wish she stuck around. She could always just be banging people over the head.
Yeah.
So Angel turns into a vampire, and Faith shows up, and Faith's like, he's a vampire. He's evil. Gwendolyn's good, obviously. So we got to fight. So Buffy shows up. They get into a big fight. We got the lightning glove. She puts it on. She starts shooting lightning at people.
I love this whole sequence. It's awesome. The Buffy and Faith fight rules. I love Buffy and Faith fighting, and Gwendolyn with that fucking glove shooting lightning at people is awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. It's cool how Buffy like throws a glass at it and cuts it off. Also, that was pretty cool. I thought. And then Gwendolyn, she gets struck by lightning. And dies?
Well, yeah. How do they do that though?
I don't remember. I think they like cut off the glove off her arm, and then the lightning goes crazy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is what happens. Yeah, she's summoning lightning, and then they chop her arm off, and the glove isn't conducting it anymore, and so she sort of like burns to a crisp. Like when she's gone, like they're just like standing in a cloud of smoke. That is like what Gwendolyn was.
Yeah, she should have been a skeleton. That would have been even more fun, I think. More of a Buffy thing to do if there was a skeleton there. And then what? They go to school. What happens at school? They say like Gwendolyn wasn't a real watcher. She got kicked out.
What do you mean?
At school, they all do the thing the next day where they catch up and like, hey.
Yeah, they say she was a real watcher, but
right, but not anymore. Not
right,
but
she was
out.
like excommunicated 2 years ago for like misuse of dark magic. God,
Right.
can someone stop? Shut up, Tim has texted us about 17 times during this episode. It's very distracting.
Oh, I haven't looked at it. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
Well, you should say you're sorry for being distracted.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. But so then they go to the motel. This is a good ending where Buffy and Faith, and now there's sort of like distrust and like a rift between them, right? Because they had this whole thing where they didn't tell each other what was up. They turned on each other kind of, and didn't trust each other. And so, and there's a line where Faith says, "Buffy," and then Buffy's like, "Yeah," and then Faith goes, "Nothing." And it's sad. Sad.
Yeah. Yeah, we leave Faith just sort of like alone and beat up in her room by herself.
Yeah.
It's in her little motel room.
Nice room though. Buffy's like, "Hey, it's looking nice in here."
She's got a black and white TV.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll give it 3 stars.
Me too.
That was a solid episode. My MVP for this one, I'm gonna go Buffy.
I like Gwendolyn. No, you know what? I'll go Giles for that fucking awesome monologue in his office there with Buffy.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good call. But I'm gonna go with Buffy. And I didn't write anybody for LVP. What do you got for LVP?
Lagos should be a better demon.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good. But I feel like it's a twist on it on purpose, right?
Yeah, I know, but if you want us to believe that's the demon of the episode, like make him look cool and shit, so it's a real bait and switch.
I thought he did look kind of cool.
Did you?
I thought he looked kind of like a Power Rangers villain or something.
He kind of did.
Like
yeah,
he was like big and mechanical or something. I don't know.
and he was wearing like medieval garb or something.
I kind of liked it. So I'll agree. I'll go Lagos LVP, and I will rank this. I'm gonna put it between I Only Have Eyes for You and Dead Man's Party.
All right, I definitely like this less than I Only Have Eyes for You. So read me down mine from that.
All right. Well, you have that one pretty high. I Only Have Eyes for You, Band Candy, Faith, Hope, and Trick, Homecoming, and so all the ones from this season.
Well, you could pop this ahead of Faith, Hope, and Trick.
All right. So between Band Candy, Faith, Hope, and Trick. So wow, you have it 16, and I had it like 26.
I like this one.
I do
I mean, it's
too.
not great, but I like it.
I, yeah, I feel like you liked it more than me, but I mean, it shows that you did.